Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans.
All right. If you haven't yet had your fill of unapologetic, insane, completely insane leftist propaganda, then Joe Biden just made a statement regarding the 2024 election that I think if you're willing to listen, and I mean like really, really, really listen, really hear what he is and he's not saying, I think it'll tell you, that reality has just about set in for President Joe Biden and his team. No matter what the talking heads believe about Trump indictments or Trump convictions or Nikki Haley's opportunity to win the Republican nomination, which is a complete and total fantasy, no matter what they think, Joe Biden knows the truth. He doesn't know much, but he knows this. So guys, please enjoy this statement from President Joe Biden, brought to you by probably the world's most preeminent purveyor of truth.
Win, basically a poll closing time win for President Biden in the Democratic presidential primary, and then it was about 11 and a half minutes later that the decision desk was able to project a New Hampshire Republican primary win for Donald Trump. But we have just obtained exclusively a statement from President Joe Biden on tonight's results in New Hampshire. This is a result he's given exclusively to us. You will not get this anywhere else. The president's statement is this: "It is now clear that Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee. And my message to the country is the stakes could not be higher. Our democracy, our personal freedoms, from the right to choose to the right to vote, our economy, which has seen the strongest recovery in the world since COVID, all are at stake." The president's statement continues, "I want to thank all those who wrote my name in this evening in New Hampshire. It was a historic demonstration of commitment to our democratic process. And I want to say to all those independents and Republicans who share our commitment to core values of our nation, our democracy, our personal freedoms, an economy that gives everyone a fair shot, to join us as Americans. Let's remember we are the United States of America, and there is nothing we cannot do if we do it together." Again, that statement exclusive from President Joe Biden to us here at NBC this evening. Lawrence.
Let's take a look at what Joe Biden was doing today. Today, the day after the 51st anniversary of the Roe versus Wade Supreme Court decision, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris campaigned.
So obviously Joe Biden, and he's not the only one, but Joe Biden is not at all concerned with Nikki Haley. Joe Biden also does not think, or it appears he does not think, that these Trump prosecutions are either going to stick or going to matter. They're proceeding as if they're not even really happening. And the general election, basically started right there with that ridiculous, goofy, completely misguided statement. And like I've said before, guys, Nikki Haley and the donor class, as MSNBC likes to call them, the people who are actually making her campaign possible to continue, they are doing everything that they possibly can to do Joe Biden's bidding right now. Because while Trump focuses whatever attention and whatever energy he has to on Nikki Haley, here comes Joe. And really not here comes Joe, but here comes Joe's basement-dwelling protection racket presidential campaign, which is what it is. Just a bunch of woke revolutionaries trying to get it done. Because we all know Joe Biden did not craft and he could not repeat that statement. He has no clue what any of that stuff means, but that's not what this is about. What Joe can or cannot say is not important. He's probably barely in charge even today. But what is important is his campaign against Donald Trump and all things MAGA, as he says, because that's already started. So Trump's campaign needs to start now. And honestly, it would probably be a pretty baller move if he just ignored Nikki Haley and campaigned as if he's only talking about Joe Biden, as if he's already got the nomination locked down, because he does. So that's a move that would be smart. Biden's team is coming. And what Biden's team believes, and more importantly, what they expect their low information army of single issue voters, which is what they have, what they expect those people to believe, is that Joe Biden is the only one who can protect your right to vote, your right to choose, whatever, your freedoms themselves, and your money. Joe Biden is the only one who can protect your money. Everything, basically. It's all at stake, and it's all on the ballot. And honestly, the people writing these messages, they have got to be insane, right? And only a few people out there believe them. But here's the crazy part. The ones that do believe them, I mean, they really, really do believe them. Like almost like a Stockholm syndrome. I mean, they believe them. It's a frightening thing. Even though if they just looked objectively, just line by line through the stuff, there's no way that they could possibly believe any of that. Joe Biden has not done anything to meaningfully protect or improve or even positively affect anything on that entire list. Not even as president, but the entire 40 or 50 years that he's spent in Washington as, in his own words, a Washington prostitute. I mean, the guy releases a statement about his belief in the democratic process just after he removed his name from a ballot because the place, New Hampshire, is just too white. So taking your name off the ballot in a race-baiting virtue signal and making people write in your name to prove a point, guys, that is not exactly the picture of the democratic process. But these people, they will believe anything that they're told to believe, which is amazing. It's terrifying. It's frightening. It's all kinds of negative stuff, but that is where we're at, and that is really what we're up against. You never saw it coming. You couldn't have made it up, but that is what we're up against, guys. That's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Help us with the channel growth. Really, really does mean a lot, your support, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.